right, a pretty tragic story here for you. Out of New Jersey, an illegal alien kills a mother and her daughter in a head-on collision as he was drunk driving. Let's check it out.
This week, another preventable tragedy occurred in New Jersey. A mother and her 11-year-old daughter were killed in a wrong-way DUI crash. The other driver was Raul Luna Perez, an illegal alien with a lengthy criminal record. But DHS says he was never deported for these previous crimes due to New Jersey's sanctuary policies. Joining us with the latest is Fox News correspondent CB Cotton. CB, what you got?
Hey, Joey, yeah, the head-on collision instantly killed the New Jersey mom, according to investigators. The woman's 11-year-old daughter later died at the hospital. And yes, the Trump administration is sounding the alarm, saying sanctuary policies kept ICE agents from taking the suspect off the street. This weekend, loved ones gathered to remember the lives of Maria Pleitez and her daughter, Dayanara Cortez. Pleitez reportedly immigrated from El Salvador more than 2 decades ago, and her children, born in the U.S. Outlet, the Lakewood Scoop, was the first to report on last weekend's crash.
So the very people that Democrats want to protect. I don't know if this woman came here legally or illegally, but she immigrated to the United States 24 years ago. And let's say she's not here legally. They couldn't protect her because of sanctuary policies.
Gathering this disturbing video from the scene, DHS says an illegal migrant from Mexico, Raul Luna Perez, is responsible for crashing his Dodge Durango head-on into the mother's Nissan Sentra. First responders noticed on scene that Luna Perez seemed intoxicated, according to prosecutors who say he was then taken to an area hospital where his blood was drawn with a court-authorized warrant. Luna Perez now faces 2 counts of vehicular homicide and assault by auto, but investigators say the crash was not his first run-in with the law. Get this, he was arrested twice for a DUI charge in March and April of this year, and in June 2023, he was arrested for simple domestic violence.
And this guy was still here in the country. This guy is a menace to society. June 23, arrested for domestic violence, and then twice earlier this year, drunk driving. Drunk driving is one of the most dangerous things anybody can do, period. And the fact that he was arrested twice for this nonsense and then this happened 3 months later, it's crazy. Should never happen.
When that domestic violence charge came, when those 2 separate DUI charges came, what those sanctuary city policies did was not allow ICE into those prisons to remove this illegal alien. Secretary Noem has said we've got to flood the zone. We have to then have all of our ICE law enforcement go into the streets and be targeting these criminal illegal aliens.
I want to mention the charges against the suspect could be upgraded after his blood test results are returned. So DHS says it's not clear when the suspect illegally entered into the U.S., but now ICE has lodged a detainer and started the process of removing him from the country while he remains in custody. We've reached out to New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy about the state's sanctuary policies and have not yet heard back.
Of course.
Wow.
Joey.
Arrested that many times already. Thanks, CB.
Of course they haven't heard back about from the governor. Now, isn't it crazy how these idiots, the drunk drivers, always, it seems like most of the time they walk away almost unscathed, and then the victims of the crash are always the ones that end up dying. It just makes me so mad. This scumbag should never be inside of our country. You know, and this is what the law that President Trump signed in recently. This is what the Lincoln-Riley Act does. Once these crimes are committed and they're taken into custody, ICE can automatically go and detain them and get stuff in the deportation process. So I want to look at some of these pictures here from New York Post. Here's a crash right here. Just unbelievable. Scumbag is driving on the wrong side of the street. And I want to read down a little bit further on this. So the sad irony is that the mother he allegedly killed immigrated from El Salvador 24 years ago. Her children were born in the U.S., the niece said. A GoFundMe campaign is raising money to pay for the bodies to be brought to El Salvador for burial. She was the head of the family, and she was bringing up her two daughters. Saturday before the mother's daughter, as she told the Post before the daughter's wake, which was attended by approximately 100 people, she had an apartment, her own place, and she never asked for help for anything. She was just such a hardworking woman. And the sad thing is that she was taking her daughter to get milkshakes. They were just going to get milkshakes, and this is what happened. This story, it makes me so mad seeing things like this. Go down to the end here. Under the direction of Governor Phil Murphy, New Jersey Attorney General Gerber Gruel issued a directive in 2018 turning the Garden State into a sanctuary state. In recent years, Republican lawmakers have implored Murphy to reevaluate the state's position on the classification. Since 2018, New Jersey had a statewide immigrant trust directive with new mandates designed to foster cooperation and strengthen trust between law enforcement officers and immigrant communities. One of those bars police even questioning suspects about the immigration status. So the scumbag governor sanctuary policies likely led to this crash happening. And this is what happens to like I said, the very people that they want to protect. Let's say this woman did come here illegally and she's been living here for 24 years. And she had her children here. They couldn't protect her because of these policies. You allowed this scumbag to stay in the state, stay in the country because you didn't want ICE to come into the jails and take him out. And so now this happens. This is maddening. It's very upsetting because this didn't have to happen. Every crime that is committed by somebody here in the country illegally is 100% preventable because they shouldn't be here in the first place. So you don't allow criminals and thugs and drunk drivers to come into the country. Wouldn't happen. Yeah, Americans commit crimes, so I get that. But this is 100% preventable. And there's a mother taking a daughter to get a milkshake turned to a travesty. I don't know, it's maddening. But all right, guys, I will leave that right there. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.